Koreans are crazy for soju. Korea is the top country for drinking alcohol among the OECD countries. Especially consumption of soju is tremendous to the point where it is 5.6% more than other countries. Koreans have loved soju for a long time. 정도전, who contributed to building Joseon dynasty, named the Gyeongbokgung Palace Gyeongbok, which means drunk and full thanks to the king. There are many scenes about drinking soju on K-dramas. Koreans always drink soju. Korean food is not complete without soju. However, many foreigners don't prefer soju because it doesn't have any flavor such as wine or whiskey. Even in Korea, soju is usually recognized as an accompaniment to the eating salty and spicy food such as kimchi jjigae and pork belly. But actually, only the royal class people could drink soju before. Contemporary soju that was made during the colonial period had a difference from the traditional soju. So from now on, we can learn the history of soju in Korea. Soju was invented in Sumer, Mesopotamia 30,000 years ago and came to Korea from the Mongols in the 13th century. The Mongol Empire at the time had a significance on the entire world, including Korea. Mongols learned the process of brewing from the Middle East people when they attacked the Middle East. The brewing influxed into Korea when the Mongols stayed in Korea to conquest Japan. Because the Mongols were stationed in Andong, Kaesong, and Jeju, soju started to made among the regions. Until now, these regions are so popular for soju because of this history, especially Kaesong soju from the North Korea and exported to many countries, including China, is so famous that many foreigners definitely buy it when they visit North Korea. At first, soju was for the military army to boost their morale. But it was introduced to ordinary people and became common, so distilled liquor was born. Soju was regarded as a luxury from the Goryeo period to the Joseon period. Mostly, the royals and Yangban class drank soju. There are many records that kings were fond of drinking soju. For example, there is record that courtiers served soju as medicine to King Danjong, who was weak. We can therefore draw the conclusion that soju was luxurious enough for people to employ it as medication. It is because many grains are needed to make soju. Soju is a distilled liquor that is made by fermenting grains and distilling. At the time, grains were scarce, so ordinary people could not drink alcohol containing a large amount of grain. As a result, the majority of the populace consumed takju, also known as makgeolli, which they did so without skipping or pressing the grain. Makgeolli replaced the role of soju in the Joseon period. Of course, kings knew the important part of makgeolli for the ordinary people. For example, as people kept drinking, the evil custom of drinking was never-ending during King Yeongjo's period. So he promulgated the prohibition law to loosen the consumption of drinking except for makgeolli, which let people revitalize during farming. The price of soju became cheaper during Japanese colonial era. Originally, soju was made of grain, but as the Japanese grew sugarcane in Taiwan in large quantities, they extracted sugar from sugar canes and began to make alcohol with the remaining molasses. The cost of molasses was far cheaper than the grain. Also, in the past, soju was distilled and made, but soju made of molasses was diluted by adding water. Therefore, it is possible to make cheaper and massive production. However, the Joseon brewer who made soju with traditional brewing previously took a hit, as the diluted soju cornered the market and Japan monopolized the molasses. The traditional soju became less competitive. Also, as the chronic food shortage kept lasting, the Korean government enacted the Raw Grain Management Act to prevent producing alcohol with rice in 1964. It let people not make distilled soju. From this time forth, the diluted soju made of corns or sweet potatoes has dominated the market. Since the 1990s, soju companies have lowered the frequency of soju to less than 20% in line with the social trend of economic growth and the increase in the female drinking population, making it easy for many Koreans to drink soju. Because it is cheap and not low, soju was a luxury drink that comforted the populace by bringing joy and sorrow. Many Koreans use soju to cope with their difficult everyday lives and to relax their aching bodies because it pairs well with Korean food and is simple to consume. One may argue that the soju consumed at the end of each day by the main characters in Korean dramas represent the lives of Koreans. So thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to click the subscribe and the like button.